This is all of Depp's staff stories, so everyone had something to contribute to it, and I think it's amazing to show we came together as a staff to make this beautiful piece of artwork. I think finding those connections and hearing people's stories, they make our staff closer.
So I think one of the things that was the catalyst for that is just the recognition that we're all weavers in this world, and the idea of if we can take the time to slow down and hear the stories that are around us, when we do that, we're able to weave together these stories to create a fabric that embraces everybody, embraces all stories, all walks of life, and taking the time to sit down with somebody else and share a story that's behind an item or a fabric that's woven in here really creates this connection and sense of belonging that we don't get without these experiences.
When my mom passed away several years ago, when cleaning out her space at home, I found all of these behavior records from when I was in 4th grade and 5th grade, and notes from my teacher, and even one of my personal narratives that I wrote. And right here I have it kind of centered, but it says, "I hate going to school." And I thought that was a pretty telling experience and story for me, because I was a student who didn't enjoy school. But the big reason why I didn't like it was because I was the underdog, and I had this very creative mind, and I thought in a different way. And in the parochial world and parochial education, that wasn't always valued and necessarily understood. So I was breaking the rules literally then, as a way to say, I'm not playing this game. And I really craved relationships with my teachers, and really craved them seeing that those creative dispositions that weren't always appreciated. So that's why I decided to put some of these behavior records and personal narratives in there as a way to kind of tell the story of where I came from as a student, and the whole reason why I became a teacher. Was to allow those experiences to flourish with my students.
I tied together masks and I weaved them through, and I did it for a couple of reasons, because I wanted it to be documented what was happening, but secondly because I think that tied back to really the problem with me when I had to decide what to bring in, is that I don't like to reveal a lot about myself to people that I don't know. So I thought it was kind of symbolic of masking yourself one way at work and around colleagues that might not know you as well, and then unmasking and kind of letting other people in once in a while isn't the worst thing in the world. So to me, this made me vulnerable to have to do this, because I did not want to bring something super personal, but then this became personal for me.
I think the fact that our kids can walk by and they can see this and they can see how bit by bit we kind of wove our stories together, and how they can be doing that within the building as well will be really beneficial. I love their curiosity around it already. They'll pass it and ask, what's the story? And because of that, we actually started doing little flip grids where each person could talk about their story and why they contributed, so kids might be able to, do a QR code next to it and hear about who submitted what and why. But I really just hope they see this as a part of we're all in one piece, as one community. No one is isolated.
I can't wait to share out these videos with my students so that they can get to know our Depp staff here a little bit better. We are a new building, and again, I think it's so important that students are sharing their stories as well as our staff and educators as well. I hope that this is just another example of how incredible collaboration can be. And again, when we all use our own strength and our stories, we bring those together, we can create something beautiful.